faces from every nation. I wanna find a place that's for conversation, where they discuss all the latest movies, or when something big happens in the news. See, that's us, what are we talking about? So what are we talking about today? Yeah. Oh, hello everybody and welcome. It's the Carcast with me. I'm Cody McLean. Welcome to another episode. So, honestly, if you're watching this episode, I have no idea whether or not you've even seen the last episode, because I have no idea whether it's uploaded or not, because I've been trying to upload some shit and it keeps fucking up. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be retrying to do that again tonight, so hopefully that shit will all be uploaded. By the way, if my eye looks messed up, got a little something in my eye today at work, so it's just been sore. But it should be good. Should be good. So there's a few things I want to talk about today. And the first thing I want to talk about today is, let's do the, I still don't remember what I was going to call this segment. It's trailer time! Whoop, 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 whoop. Trailer time! Trailer time! So, it's trailer time. First thing, this morning, Disney released a trailer for the live-action adaptation of the animated classic Beauty and the Beast. And I just gotta say, I have been looking forward to this movie quite a bit. I didn't see the first Snow White and the Huntsman. I don't even know if that was Disney. The Alice in Wonderland, the first one, the one by Tim Burton, like the first live-action remake, I did not love. I looked forward to it by quite a bit, because it was like, wow, Tim Burton doing Alice in Wonderland sounds like just an amazing combination. And I didn't like it. I definitely did not like it. I did not see the sequel because of how much I did not like the original. Even though the sequel there was one real good trailer that had the White Rabbit song playing. But anyways, so I also never saw Maleficent, but I heard real bad things about it. But then I saw Cinderella. And that's not a movie I would expect to enjoy. Loved it. Just loved it. It's such a special movie. Makes you just joyous essentially the whole time. Like, yeah, there's some sad moments and stuff like that, but overall it's great. And then they made The Jungle Book with Jon Favreau. And my God, does it ever take the original Jungle Book and take it into a whole new, I would say, much better direction. I don't know if you've seen the original Jungle Book lately, but it's not great. It's fine. It's a fine animated movie, but it's no Disney. It's not like, it's not what you would think of when you think of a Disney classic. Even if you think of Jungle Book as a Disney classic, rewatching it, you'll be like, no, this is not. Like, it's kind of bad. It's fine. Like, it's not horrible, but it's not great. And most of the songs are just real generic, shitty songs that are bad, and that's why they put the only two good, memorable songs in the film. And then find out we found this out before, but we know the next movie they're doing is Beauty and the Beast, live-action retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And what they said was, I think they said all the songs that you know and love from the original animated, but they're also adding new songs and new score and all that fun stuff. There's some new characters that were added, there's I think a wardrobe that was never in it before. I don't know. There's a couple new characters. And just on the face, I thought, wow, I never thought I would want to see a live-action Beauty and the Beast, but maybe I do want to see that. And then they started coming out with the cast list, and you got friggin' Ian McKellen playing Codsworth or whatever the clock's name is. You got Ewan McGregor playing the French Candlestick. Emma Thompson as Mrs. Potts. Like, you got a stacked cast. Luke Wilson as Gaston. I can't remember the other guy's name who's playing LeFou. He plays Olaf in Frozen. He also was the guy behind the Book of Mormon, the musical. But anyways, so I've been looking forward to this movie so much. It's not like Beauty and the Beast, the animated, is my favorite animated of the Disney movies or anything. But for some reason, and it might be because, you know, Emma Watson is one of the people that I grew up falling in love with because of Harry Potter, right? Like, as I grew up, I'm around the same age, so they were essentially they were the same age as me pretty much in all the movies, right? Even if they weren't playing a character of the same age as me, I knew the actor was the same age as me, even though they were supposed to be playing a 17-year-old when the first movie, or when the last movie came out. I knew they were like 23. So I guess they're a little bit older than me, but not by much. But anyways, so that's probably a factor that it's got Emma Watson in it. And that's not a negative. It's definitely not a negative. I want to see... I have a movie actually in my Netflix queue called... I think it's not Colombiana, but it's Colonia or something like that. And it's one that I'm intrigued. Like, I read the description, and it's like, okay, that's kind of sounds cool, but the reason why I want to watch it is because it's got Emma Watson, and I think she's a really good actor. So, this trailer, I think, perfectly captured what the animated movie is, and it makes me even more excited for this movie, even though I didn't think that was possible. Like, I was a little bit apprehensive about how they're going to make inanimate objects like sing and talk and stuff, but I like the way that they're doing it. I think it's going to work out well. So I have extremely high hopes for this, and the trailer only brought those hopes even higher, or at least brought my excitement level higher. I think they're going to nail this, and I don't know if I agree with Mark Ellis that it's going to make over $200 million opening weekend, but honestly, if any of the Disney animated movies could do it, Beauty and the Beast has a good chance. It's, the first animated movie to win Best Picture? That's gonna tell you something. So yeah. Let me know what your thoughts of the trailer are in the comments section. Did you even know this movie was coming out? Are you excited? Do you think Disney needs... What do you think about the trend of Disney remaking their old IP live action? Like, they a little while ago just announced that The Lion King is going to be remade live action directed by Jon Favreau, who is the director of Jungle Book. They're essentially, to me, it seems like Jungle Book was like a test run where they're like, let's try this out with a movie that we know it'll be easy to improve upon. But now they have the challenge of, they have that technology. We know that they can make a essentially live action movie about talking animals. We know that. Without it being actual live action, it's still an animated movie, essentially, because there's no real people or anything. It's all CGI. But it's photorealistic CGI. We know they can do that. Now the task is taking the movie that everyone knows and loves, that is Hamlet with lions, aka The Lion King, and turning it into a live-action, full-fledged Hollywood movie, still capturing that original essence of what the movie's about, but bringing it into a new light. And I think Beauty and the Beast is one of these movies that is going to translate perfectly. I like the way the Beast looks. I like the way the objects look. I think Emma Watson is Belle. Like, after seeing this, everything I've seen, it's just convincing me more and more that she is Belle. She's the perfect girl to play Belle, or woman, if you will. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see that movie. And I'd like to know, are you guys excited? Let me know in the comments section down below. Or, if this is SoundCloud that you're listening to this on, you can also comment. It's not really a comment section, but you can add a comment to the video. So hit me up, let me know. Sure like to know. You can also tweet at me, at Winter Trooper, at What We Talkin'. So what's the next trailer in trailer time? So there was a Ghost in the Shell teaser, I believe. So there was the like super itsy teasy where it just showed basically Scarlett Johansson turning visible. But then we got an even longer tease, and it shows a little more about it doesn't show much about the story, I don't think. I don't know the story of Ghost in the Shell. I've never read the original manga, but this trailer does a good job of showing you the world that this takes place in. And one thing, I don't know, I haven't really been on social media that much today, so I don't know if there's or I haven't really paid attention to what people have been saying about that trailer, but I feel like there's been a fairly positive reaction to it, which surprises me because I'm surprised at how many white people I saw in that trailer. I thought it should have been a lot less. If this movie takes place in Tokyo, I don't understand why there's so many white people. And maybe they'll explain that in the context of the film. And okay, but you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't. If you're making a movie that takes place in a place, in a time, unless that's the idea of the movie, which I don't think that's the idea of Ghost in the Shell, is that now there's a bunch of white people in Tokyo. So unless that's the essence of what the movie's about, don't you think you should cast the person? Like, it'd be like when Disney, they've also said they're making a live action Mulan. If they came out and said fucking Melissa Benoist or Benoist or whatever, Supergirl is in, I think it was this trailer. Oh no! There's another trailer I'll talk about in a second that has Supergirl. But anyways, so imagine they're casting Mulan and they're like, Mulan is going to be played by Melissa Benoist, and her mom is going to be played by Kate Blanchett. It's like, why? Why wouldn't you like? I don't have a problem with them casting Scarlett Johansson as the character they did, but why would you not? Like, there's a bunch of supporting roles of white people, and again, I haven't read the original manga, so maybe there's precedence for this, but it just seems weird that there would, like, it's one thing to have an android that looks like a white person, even though there's no precedence for that in the history of Japan. When they make robots, they make them look Japanese. They don't make them look fucking Caucasian. But anyways, yeah, like, it's just a weird setup, and hopefully that portion, all that background stuff, I hope that doesn't take away from the movie, because it sounds like a really cool concept. It's a beloved manga, and Scarlett Johansson, I think, is quite a serviceable actress. She's not, I don't know that she ever, I mean, I haven't seen every movie she's ever been in, but she's not, I don't know, she's the most popular and famous actress, probably. Toss up between probably her and Jennifer Lawrence, but like, I think Jennifer Lawrence is way more overexposed right now, but I would say she's a lot better of an actress than Scarlett Johansson. But they're also different, because Scarlett Johansson can do action, she can do comedy, she can do so much more, whereas Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know if she can. Maybe she can. I don't know. I didn't buy her in The Hunger Games. Like, The Hunger Games is not good because of Jennifer Lawrence, in my opinion. I only like of the Hunger Games movies, I really only like the first one. The second one's okay, but it's disappointing to me, because I saw the first Hunger Games. People said it's a movie where there's a society that they basically, once a year, they take a bunch of fucking kids, make them fight to the death. And I was like, that's some fucked up shit. I gotta see that. There's a whole franchise based on this. I gotta check this out. So I watched the first one, and it's an intense movie, and it does a good job where it's like, you feel for the characters. They do a good job of showing the harshness that is this world. And then the second movie, it's called The Hunger Games, but you don't actually get to the Hunger Games until like 2/3 of the way through the film. And maybe that's how it is in the book. I don't care. I've only seen the movie, and I was expecting some friggin' Hunger Games. But okay. I get it. There's more to the story than that. Then at the end of the film, they literally just break out of the big dome that they're trapped in, And now there's not gonna be Hunger Games anymore. And then, for some reason, in the fourth movie, there's just like a little mini-ish Hunger Games where they gotta get through some tests and some traps and whatnot. And it's like, it's just a weird franchise. Again, I never read the book, so I don't have that connection to it. And I don't know how I got off on this tangent, but I'm looking forward to Ghost in the Shell, and I hope that all of this controversy does not take away from the film, and I hope that people start to learn, and if it does, if it makes no money because of the whitewashing controversies and whatnot, maybe it will make the studios realize white people isn't what everyone wants anymore. As much as I like relating to the main character, I can relate like to a black person or a Chinese person or a Mexican, Latino, whatever. Just because somebody doesn't have the same color of skin as me doesn't mean they're not still a person. So I don't understand where this thing is that it's like, well, if there's not a white person as the main character, we're not going to sell tickets. I went and saw, what's it called? Central Intelligence. It's literally about a giant Samoan and a tiny little black dude. It was awesome. I loved it. Glad to see it. And I would love to see more stuff like that's the thing. I just don't understand. I do understand to an extent. Studios are all about that cash. They don't care how they get that cash. That's all they want. They just want that money. And they know, maybe they don't know now, but they know that classically some movies sell, some movies do not. And they know it has been in the past easier to sell a movie that has a white lead, especially white male lead, as compared to a woman or a minority. But I think times are changing, and that, I don't know, studios are changing a little bit. Look at Lucasfilm, their first two movies, albeit it's still a lot of white people. There's a couple minorities. We got Finn, we got Oscar Isaacs. Then in Rogue One, we have Diego Luna, Ip Man, I can't remember his name, Donnie Yen. Like, it's not just white people, even though there's still white people as the main character, but at least it's not a white dude. At least it's not Luke the Third or whatever. There's now women leading this franchise. That's the main character of the first two Star Wars movies back are both women, and I think that's awesome. Same for, I mean, we haven't seen it in the superhero world yet. Wonder Woman, again, is going to be the first one. Why? Like, not that it's a bad thing that we have women doing stuff, but like, first of all, there should have been more female-led films already. I don't know. I get it that you don't make a Black Widow movie because it's probably not going to be a good movie, but there's clearly a hunger for a female-led superhero movie, and it's amazing that DC is going to be the first one to do it. Marvel's been making movies for fucking 8, almost 9 years, and they still haven't done it. And they're not going to be doing it for another at least 2 years. When does Captain Marvel come out? 2020, 2019? So it's time. Let's fucking get some, I want the movies I watch to be representative of the world I live in. And like when people were flipping out about the rumor that, oh, maybe Oscar Isaac's character in Star Wars, Poe Dameron, maybe he's gay. So? There literally, there's gay people in the world. My brother's gay. It's not like if I see a gay person, I'll be like, I don't believe that. There's not gay people in Star Wars. Why wouldn't there be? There's fucking gay dolphins. How, like, it's just a naturally occurring thing. So I don't understand the controversy. And that's the thing. It's probably not really a controversy. It's probably just people flipping out about nothing. And once the movie actually came out, they would probably be fine with it. It's the same thing. When J.K. Rowling came out and said Dumbledore is gay, people flipped out about it. But now, when they come out and say, we're probably going to see an openly gay Dumbledore in these Fantastic Beasts films, people were like, okay, that makes sense. He's gay, so let's do it. And I think it's good that we're going towards that. I just feel like it could happen a little quicker. I don't know. I know how I got onto this because of the Ghost in the Shell thing. But anyways, you don't have to talk about the controversies of whitewashing. Just let me know what you thought of the trailer, and if you think the movie's going to be good. There was, I think, one or maybe even two more trailers. Okay, so Valerian, the City of 1,000 Planets, I believe is what the movie's called. So it's by the director of both Lucy, which I didn't see and heard not good things about, and The Fifth Element, which I did see and kind of adore. It's pretty awesome. It's got some real corny, cheesy, like weird parts, but mostly those parts involve Chris Tucker. But don't get me wrong, I love that movie. It's great. But it's also kind of campy and weird. And I don't know if that movie came out today, The Fifth Element. If The Fifth Element came out today, I don't know if it's as popular as it is when it came out. Same with Lucy. If Lucy would have came out 10, 15, 20 years before when it had, I feel like it would have been way better accepted. But because so many people know the whole you only use 10% of your brain thing, it's bullshit. We all know that. And so like simple things like that now that could be a plot device in a previous decade no longer can be a plot device. And so I don't know. This Valerian trailer, it didn't show much story. It showed, again, just the world that we're dealing with here. I like what I see. I'm intrigued, but I'm a little skeptical because Luc Besson, I don't know if he's made a movie I enjoy for a long time. And again, like I said, I didn't see Lucy, but I heard not good things. So I have high hopes for Valerian. I like Dane DeHaan. I think Cara Delevingne is a treat. She's kind of a little bit hit or miss with her acting. I don't know if you can really blame Suicide Squad on her. I don't know how much of that was her decision and how much of it was not Josh Trank, David Ayer's decision. I don't know how much of it was Warner Brothers' decision. I don't know. But that's the most recent movie I've seen Cara Delevingne in. It. I didn't like it. Luckily, the most recent movie I saw Dane DeHaan in isn't Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've seen him in some other stuff since then, so that's washed that bad taste out of my mouth. But I don't know. I really don't know where to stand with this movie, Valerian, because it could be amazing, it could be awful, it could just be just a movie. I don't know yet. It's too hard to tell. But I do gotta say, I did like the visuals. You could tell it's CGI, but that's also because none of that shit's, like, almost nothing we saw in there could happen in real life anyways. So it's like, yeah, you know it's CGI, but of course you know it's CGI. It's got to be CGI. It's a movie about space. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm kind of torn on the trailer. I hope that the movie is awesome, but I just don't know. So let's see what else we got here. The other trailer. Oh, this is the trailer that I brought up a little earlier. There's a new trailer released today for Patriots Day, the Mark Wahlberg-led movie about the Boston bomber, directed by, I forget the director's name, but he directed Deepwater Horizon that came out this year. He also directed Lone Survivor, which I haven't seen Deepwater Horizon yet, but I've heard incredible things, and Lone Survivor is an unbelievable film. Like, if half of that shit actually happened, which I've heard that pretty much everything in that movie actually happened, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. And going into that movie, it's so much, like, you probably, if you didn't know that was a true story, if you just thought this is some made-up story, it probably wouldn't be as good of a movie. But knowing that this stuff happened, it's so much more visceral. And I think it's interesting the way that they're doing this movie in terms of, it's going to be a little bit more of a, it's not so much like a biopic of an event as it is, it's a personal story about a cop. I don't know whether or not Mark Wahlberg's playing a real person or not, but it's about a cop who is just running security at the Boston Marathon when all this stuff happened. And I'm really intrigued by the stuff that I've seen from it. It's got Kevin Bacon, who's an incredible actor. One of the things, though, that I thought was a little bit weird, at one point they arrest a woman because they say that she was a terrorist or she was involved with a terrorist or something. She's the girl they're looking for. And I assume she's supposed to be Muslim, like from a Middle East country. But she's literally, it's Melissa Benoist. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm almost 100% that it was Supergirl. Why is white blonde Supergirl playing a Middle Eastern woman? That's something I don't understand, and maybe that's not what maybe I'm taking this out of context because it was just a trailer. It was just a trailer, so I don't know. But I hope that's not the case because that seems weird. I don't know. I am, though, intrigued, and I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. And it's like, some people might say it might be a little too soon from after the events, but I don't know. When is too soon? As long as you're respectful, I don't know that there is a time that's too soon. So, next thing on the docket, that's all of what I have to talk about with the movie trailers. That's it for trailer time. I just want to talk a little bit about, what's been going on in the U.S. for the past little while. So this 2016 presidential election has easily been the United States is becoming more and more divided over certain political issues, environmental issues, economic issues, human rights issues, and it's a little bit of a scary time for some people because of some of the things that Donald Trump has said leading up to his presidency, leading up to him getting in and winning. The stuff about that he's going to put a ban on Muslims and basically round up everybody who he thinks that is dangerous and put them all on a train and fucking send them away, kind of thing. That can easily break apart family. He said he wants to deport every illegal alien that's living there. Well, some illegal aliens have been living there for 20 years and have a family. And at that point, shouldn't your goal be to try and help get this person to be a legitimate member of your country, as opposed to being like, oh, you're not an American citizen? Well, get the fuck out. I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to rag on either candidate. I don't want to rag on the president, the future president. What I want to say is that right now the world is divided, and it seems like it's getting more and more divided. And it's up to you, and it's up to me. It's up to everybody. If you disagree with somebody, if they have a different point of view than you, discuss with them in a positive way, the positives, negatives, all that sort of thing. Try and have a rational discussion. Don't just automatically hate somebody because they have a different belief. I found it astounding how many people, first of all, straight up said, if you voted for Donald Trump, unfollow me and block me. That's a fucking horrible way to treat somebody you've never met, just because they have a different political view than you. And I didn't want Donald Trump to win, but he won. That's it. And if you don't accept that fact, then you're no better than when Donald Trump said he wouldn't accept if Hillary won, I'm only going to accept it if I win. That's you right now. If you're one of those people that are like, Trump's not my president. Well, he's not yet, but on January 20th, he will be. And that's just a fact. And violent protests, riots, none of those things are going to solve anything. Trump getting elected goes to show that the general public are unhappy with the way things are going. They're unhappy with the way things work. It's the same reason why Bernie had so much support. And I personally wish that Bernie Sanders would have become president. He was who I wanted from, as soon as I heard him basically speak and I looked into it, I was like, this, is the first, excuse me, this is the first time that I've ever wanted somebody in power. This is the first time it's not, I guess this guy's not as bad as that guy. It's the first time that I'm like, please, Bernie, win. Please, I hope for the future of humanity. But he didn't. Trump's going to win, or Trump won. So now it's up to us as a people. Let's stop the division. Even if you didn't think Trump should win, even if you have a problem with the way he won, like you have a problem with the electoral college system, you have a problem with the fact that Hillary, as it stands now, has a majority of the vote, yet still didn't win the nomination, or whatever, she didn't win the presidency. Even if you disagree with everything that happened, you guys are, not just you guys, me, everyone, we are all in this together. I'm not American. I live in Canada. I'm not just going to be like, well, fuck it. Fuck those guys. No. We all have to work together to make humanity better. We all have to share this space. So if somebody is being hateful towards you, your automatic response shouldn't be to hate them back. Your automatic response should be to ask why. Why are you hateful? What is causing this pain in your heart? Because maybe I can help lessen some of that aggression and rage. That's what we need to do. We need to help everyone be okay with the place they live. And in the end, yes, there are ideological differences and people are going to disagree. But I disagree with most of the shit my younger brother says. I still literally live in the same house as him. We get along, even though we disagree about a lot of things, because that's just what adults do. That's what you do. You just do the right thing, be a man, be a woman, fucking be civil to people, even if you hate them. There's people I hate, and you don't have to be fucking rude to people. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit aggravated, but now more than ever, we need to be united. We need to be together. We need to help our brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, whatever the fuck, neighbors, Joe Blow down fucking 2 blocks down the road. Doesn't matter. We are all in this together. And I mean, just please, do what you can. Smile at people. I don't know. If you disagree, that's fine. Everyone also doesn't have to agree on everything. So I don't know. I'm rambling a little bit. If you're still listening to this, thank you. I just wanted to say, you might disagree with who's in power, but the way to fix that isn't to just complain about it on social media or to beat up the guy who voted for Trump. That doesn't solve anything. We need to start a conversation, and the thing is, I have hopes that Donald Trump was basically lying his whole campaign, and is, now that he's in power, he's going to do the right thing in a lot of cases. I honestly do think that, I'm a little bit worried for climate change, because I do believe him when he says he thinks that climate change isn't real. But he's not the only person. It's not like Donald Trump is the only climate change denier. And you and me can also help with climate change, even though we can't enact laws to prevent the use of carbon-based fuels in high quantities, whatever. We can't do that. But maybe you walk instead of driving down to the store, or whatever it might be. We can all make a difference, and we should all make a difference. We should be trying every day not to make a world in which we want to live in, but a world in which we want our children to live in. Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're making. Or it's either that, or we're destroying the world. Those, not even just destroying the world. destroying the chances for humanity to continue. Do you know how messed up it is that we are at a stage in human evolution where we're like, you know, in order for our species to survive, we need to go to another planet because we fucked this one up so bad. How about fix this planet? It's not a lost cause. We still have a chance, and it takes all of us working together in order to enact that change. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If you're still with me, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, thank you. So there's a couple other quick little things. The one thing is Captain Fantastic. So I know that sounds like some sort of weird superhero movie. It's not. It's a movie about Viggo Mortensen plays a guy who, him and his wife decided to move basically out into the woods with their children, live off the land, only buy things they can't get for themselves, fuel or whatever. Yeah, so like basically they became traders. But it's not like they're Alaskan bush people that fucking all they know how to do is hunt and fish. He also teaches them quantum theory. He also teaches them M theory. He teaches them sociological and like he teaches them everything. Those kids, his children, were more intelligent. Like at one point he brings his 8-year-old daughter in to show up her cousin who is twice her age, and she knows way more than they do. I think it was the Bill of Rights that they were discussing. This movie is incredible. I don't know what are the chances of it getting an Oscar. Like, I don't watch every movie that comes out, so I don't know. But Viggo Mortensen is one of those guys that it's like, pretty much, I want to see every movie he's in because he's such a good actor and he makes you feel so much for whatever character he plays. Another great movie with him in it is The Road. If you've never seen that movie, you should check it out. It's an incredibly depressing film, but it's incredibly powerful. Just like Captain Fantastic. Captain Fantastic is not depressing. It's an actually uplifting story. I think you should check it out. It's a 3 out of 3 for me. I loved this movie. And I think everyone should see the movie. Like, I think it does an incredible job of showing what's wrong, that there's so much wrong with society. But the thing to do isn't to say fuck society. The thing to do is to make your own way and do what you can to help improve society. And I think that's a good, positive message. That's kind of been the overall message of this podcast. So yeah, I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen the movie yet. It's called Captain Fantastic. I forget who the director is, but yeah, it stars Viggo Mortensen. It's also got Steve Zahn and Catherine Hahn in it, who normally are some of the most ridiculous, hilarious people, and they play very level-headed, dramatic roles in this. They're not like comedic relief. It's an incredibly good movie, and I highly recommend it. There was one other thing. Ooh, excuse me. So, it's going to be pretty much it. I just wanted to quickly talk about my reading, watching, or playing. I've been listening to, what's it called? Aftermath. Yeah, so Aftermath is a Star Wars movie Star Wars book. Let me just double check who's the Chuck Wendig. So now I had heard not good things about the book, and basically all those not good things I heard are true. It's a little, like, I want to give this guy a little bit of a leeway because it's like the first post-Jedi thing, and I wanted so much out of it, and you don't get that out of it. It's a little bit wonky. It's a little bit like, this is Star Wars, make sure you're reading Star Wars, as opposed to just being a natural. It doesn't feel naturally like Star Wars. It feels like something else, but they want to make sure you know it's still Star Wars. This is still Star Wars. There's literally a section in the book where Wedge, who I'm sure knows General Solo, they're not best friends, But at one point, he literally recites a line that Han Solo says in Return of the Jedi that there is no way that Wedge would have been able to hear it. It's when they're flying in the Imperial shuttle to go to the Forest Moon, and literally Han says, just fly casual. I don't know. Why? And Wedge, at one point, he's flying towards an Imperial Star Destroyer, and he's just like, oh, what would Han do in this situation? Just fly casual. And it's like, it takes you kind of out of it, because it's like, first of all, Wedge wouldn't know that Han ever said that. And it's not like it's a thing that Han says all the time. He said it one time, and Wedge wasn't there. So unless later Luke was like, hey, you should have heard what Han said. I don't know. It just seems really, really weird. It does have some good parts. Overall, it's interesting to hear the way how everything was set up in terms of the Empire, the New Republic, all that stuff. It does have some interesting things. But overall, I would say, I don't want to blame it on the writing, but I think I'm going to have to. I think it's the writing that is the issue. I don't know. I'm still going to read Life Debt, which is the second one in the series, because I've heard some more positive things, that this one he does a better job. So I still have hopes for Aftermath. I don't know. Once I read, or sorry, not Aftermath, Life Debt. After I read Life Debt, I will let you guys know whether or not you need to read Aftermath to read Life Debt, because if you don't need to, I would say you shouldn't. So I'll let you guys know what I figure about that. But have you guys read, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Cats are fantastic. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. But also, if you've read Aftermath, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Have you read Aftermath? Do you want to read Aftermath? Well, all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for watching, listening, however you're ingesting this. Telepathically, possibly. Yeah, thanks. And never stop making the world a better place. Peace.
Glad to see you here on YouTube. Now you wonder what should I do. Staring at my faces from every nation. I wanna find a place that's for conversation. Where do they discuss all the latest movies? Or when something big happens in the news? See, that's us. What are we talking about?